where do we start?
I guess we haven't talked to you since the spring. A few changes, obviously, personnel-wise. Where
Yeah.
where you see your guys at now compared to back in April?
We've come a long way since April. It's good. I think learning the offense, learning the system, that part of it, we're so much farther ahead. Now we got to get really good at it. I think that's our challenge going forward. I'm happy with the guys that were here. I like them. I think they're competitive. I think they'll work hard. And that's the big starter.
You say competitive and work hard. You've also been a part of lines that were at different levels, like in terms of what you need to compete and,
Yeah.
and push people around and all that. How close are you to that?
We're going to find out pretty soon. I think anytime you're doing something, you're always trying to get better. And I don't mean to be cliche-ish here, but where can we get? Can we get to here? Can we get to here? Can we get to here? Obviously, when you're in fall camp, you got different guys at different levels. Some guys have played and done some things, and the freshmen, to be honest, they got to catch up. We're not going to go at their speed. We got to go at the speed to win, right? And I'm kind of happy with that. Fundamentally, we got to keep working on some things, pushing through things, the mental part of it, the competitive part of it. I think every day we've gotten better, but we're still not where we want to be. Now, I don't know if I'm ever happy, but we're still not where I want to be.
Are there baselines to when you go, okay, we're going to be okay here, or this guy's going to be? Do you have a number of guys where you go, at least we'll be? There's a baseline to this.
I don't. To me, there's no baseline. We're just going to be as good as we can get.
How's Luke adjusting since you've got him in here? And does he get any reps at tackle? Or I know we've heard about guard to center.
Luke's adjusted really well. I mean, he's a sharp kid, competitive, strong. Can't say enough good things about him. We have him doing some snapping, but right now we don't need him at center, but having him ready to do it. Haven't put him out at tackle, trying to keep him at one spot at left guard so we can kind of master that spot. Can't say more good things about him. I mean, he's been awesome.
Do you feel like you have a 5 right now, or is it?
I never have a 5. It's always like, we just want to figure out who the best 5 is, and then who's the next 5, and who's 6, who's 7, and where do we fit it, and how does it work? Like I tell people, I don't want to make decisions until I have to. Who today's 5 might be different tomorrow, or number 6 might be 5 tomorrow. So that's their job during this time, is to go compete and show what they can do.
That's kind of modern football too. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not going to be one of the 5 that really started last year.
We don't have 5 veteran guys with huge contracts that, like the NFL, that this guy's going to play no matter what. I mean, they're all, and I think they've had a great attitude of trying to get better every day. And if we can just keep doing that, we're going to end up being pretty good.
I don't know.
About the tackle spots, you got Brandon has starting experience. I've seen, we've heard about Stanton, and obviously he missed last year, and then the right side, Ashton's got a little bit of that experience. I guess, how do you see the tackle depth?
I think those 3 are kind of separated from the rest right now. The one luxury in some ways is Brandon can jump both sides. He's got the flexibility to do that. I think right now our thing is, okay, who's the next guy? Who's that young guy who can be the next guy that steps up, and the guy after that? Because we're going to need them all as the season goes on.
What do you think about Stan? Can you work with him in the spring?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
he was somewhat limited, and I think Stanton, great kid, smart, loves football, works hard. A little bit of a football junkie. He'll ask the extra questions just because he wants to know for football. Fun guy to coach. Still young, still developing, and I think he's got a big upside if he keeps working out.
How down have you been getting back a little bit?
Yeah, getting back, still a little slow getting back and some things, but we'll kind of see where it goes. Good kid.
Right guard, Christian Phillips and Gavin. Would that be 2 guys that are in the mix? I know Gavin's kind of
again.
injury bug.
You're kind of hitting me, and I don't want to say this is this and this is but I think Christian's had a very good camp. I mean, from the time I got here to now, he works his ass off. He's thinking football. He's asking questions. He's and so he's done a great job. Gavin's just a tough kid that goes and battles and scraps, and then we got a few guys that are jumping through there. Dallas Fincher's another guy who's played here, who's a tough, strong kid and can go do some things. So again, let's see where we go in the next week.
You use Fincher kind of all 3, or is he kind of?
I think, and again, right now, we're kind of probably moving them, we're kind of seeing where guys are at, because again, the old adage, if you have your best five guys are all centers, then you better teach two to play guard and two to play tackle, you know?
Jonathan mentioned Rakeem as being impressive for a young guy. I guess, what's your take on him?
Yeah, I think he's had a great camp. Sharp, picked up things, very athletic, good leverage, good kid who's done a lot of really good things. So, and again, we'll see how it progresses, you know. But I couldn't be more happy that he's here.
What are
What's
your
the best
points
part of having Tanner Miller back with you, and what can the younger players learn from him about your system?
I think that's kind of what you kind of hit on the deal. Tanner's a quiet guy if you get to know him, but the best part is he understands the way we work, not just me, the way Coach Smith works, the way the team should work. You know, and to go to those guys, or they can go to him and say, hey, what does this mean? How do I do this? What's you know, those things. I think that part of it, he's a great leader for those young guys.
Having been a walk-on, does that show guys, hey, I can do this?
I hope it does, you know. We don't, I always tell them it doesn't matter if you're a walk-on or a 12-star, you know, you're all Spartans. So our job is to get the best guys on the field. And, but I think Tanner's, you know, he brings that wisdom maybe, been somewhere else, seen it differently, and maybe a little higher, a little expectations a little different.
You hear stories about quarterbacks taking their linemen out to dinner and stuff like that. Have you seen any bonding like that from Aiden?
I've heard rumors, but I don't know. But I've heard Aiden's been pretty generous. I don't know that.
Do you cross-train?
I try to stay out of that part of it.
Oh, you didn't get the invite?
I didn't get the invite. That's all I know. You know? Then again, I don't need dinner. So,
What will be your points of emphasis Saturday? And are they any different from last week?
I think it's literally, I think we need to work every day, and then Saturday, treat it like a game, and just go cut it loose and go play, and not, try to do too much thinking, and just go play, and let's see where guys are at. And then, kind of cut it loose. We spend all week trying to get the steps right, and the foot right, and this right, and the eyes right, and all those things. Saturday, cut it loose and go play. It's game day.
In an ideal world, if you've got your best five, you figure out who those are, do you want those five to play the entire game? Or are you gonna bring guys, what's sort of your philosophy on that?
It just depends where you're at and how many you guys you feel comfortable, If guys are close, you'd like to play them. It's a long season, and it's hard to get 5 guys and play 12 games. Something happens, so the more you can get another guy in there, the less wear and tear you take off of a guy. Then again, at the same time, we gotta do what's best for the team and to go win, so that's always the juggling act. It's easy to say, these are the 5, but if it's close, I wanna get some guys in there and play some guys, especially early if we can, let them go.
Would you say that health up front in particular is maybe the predicator of success or failure?
I wouldn't say, it has a large impact. I also think the culture of that, of guys working and believing in that they got a chance, and then the next guy's ready to go if something happens to somebody. I think there's and again, in offensive line, after nobody's really truly healthy, right? You're kind of half mid-season healthy, which you feel pretty good, but everything hurts, you just keep going.
How are you feeling about the run game operation, not just the O-line, but tight ends and everyone working together?
I think it's been good. I think, that's the one, a little bit of an advantage we have is as a coaching staff. Majority of us have been together. Hawk's done a great job of just blending right in and running with the offense. From that part of it's good. I think we just gotta get more consistent. You know how it is. Football's a team game, right? You get 10 guys that do a great job and the right guard doesn't, then the play doesn't work or whatever. And I think we're, again, every day we keep getting better. Are we where we want to be yet? No, but we have pretty high expectations too.
Are there any statistical benchmarks you measure your group by as the season goes on?
At the offensive line, that's hard. I know there's people out there that grade them and rate them and all those things. I think we kind of keep our own grades and rankings, and so, my dad taught me, figures don't lie, the liars can figure, we know, and we'll grade each other, we'll grade players after scrimmages on our production, but then there's also, sometimes you're just lucky and your production was good because you were away from the play or whatever. So
That red zone number last year for you guys out there, I mean, that was I mean, I think it was like 97, 98% clip.
We had pretty good, and there's some interesting statistics, you know, you bring statistics up, I think it's kind of cool in football, the analytics part of it. You know, there's some, again, I don't know the stat for DSSR, or, you know, possession, points per possession, and things like, I mean, those are pretty cool statistics. They go a little deeper, you know, and I think we look at those as a team and as an offense, but when you're talking about players, then it's getting the job done.
Do you cross-train guys like throughout camp, or is there a point where you be, like, I gotta get this guy in his position?
I think it's both. I think we're cross-training a lot of them. You know, you'd like guys to get familiar with guys playing next to them and work together and talk together. You know, and then again, you also have the, okay, how many do you have that you feel good about? You know, NFL used to only have 7 guys on game day, so you had, you know, 5 guys that were locked in, and one dude that was playing 3 spots and one dude that was playing 2. So, you know, what's the best 5? What's the next? Who's 6? Where does he fit? 7? Are they close? All these things you got to kind of figure out. As much as we can, we'd like them to lock in and get comfortable next to the guy.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.